Hello, and we are in August, so let's get to it. Let's do a Prescott Valley market update. My tagline this month is more homes for sale. Yes, you heard that right. Inventory is up. There's a couple other key metrics I want to share with you. So, yeah, homes are up. Number of homes to choose from if you're a buyer is up. This is the most homes on market we've seen in the last 5 years, going all the way back to January of 2020 before COVID. Prices are actually down a little bit year over year, and we are technically in a balanced market now. So let's dive into the stats and get you all the information that you're looking for. If this is your first time here, stopping by my channel. My name is Brent Wofford. I am a licensed real estate agent with Keller Williams Arizona Realty, based out of Prescott, Arizona. Now that I got that out of the way, let's dive into the facts. So let's do it. All right, get the big screen behind me here. Bam. First thing that we're going to get into is the median sales price for Prescott Valley. This takes all residential home sales into account that were put into the MLS. So you can see my little footer down here at the bottom. Source, Prescott Area Association of Realtors. So in Prescott Valley, the median sales price for last month, July, came out at $457,000. So actually it was $456,950, but I rounded up. So yeah, $457,000 for the median sales price in Prescott Valley last month. A month prior to that was June. We were at $440, so we are up a bit from June into July. So month over month, we're up a little bit. However, year over year, we're actually down. The median sales price was $482,000 in 2024. Having a month-to-month increase but a year-over-year decrease doesn't show me signs of a collapsing market or impending price doom or prices drastically falling. So if you're a buyer and you're hoping for that, houses or not houses, prices that just come crashing down, we're not seeing the signs of that yet. So that's what's going on for the median sales price. The other thing I get asked a lot is, what's the discount? How much discount am I going to get off of the house? Cut that price down. Let's come in $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 under list price, And while that happens sometimes, it's specifically unique situations. If a house has been on the market for a really long time, or if it needs a lot of rehab, we can typically come in and get a pretty good discount off of what the actual retail value would be, or the estimated marketable value of the home in turnkey move-in ready condition. But we're not seeing that. The data is not reflecting that in Prescott Valley, at least. So as of July, the sold to list percentage was 98.3, which means that houses on average were selling for 98.3 of the price that the seller was asking for. If we do the math backwards on that, that's an average discount of 1.7%. And that comes out to be an average discount off a list price of right around $7,800, to $8,000. It's going to vary based on neighborhood. So as always, if you are shopping and you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly. Drop a comment down below or send me a message. All my contact information is listed in the description. So reach out to me. I can give you this number based on specific neighborhoods. And like I said, it is going to vary. Anything that's below the median sales price right now is selling pretty quickly, and things that are over that median sales price are taking longer to sell with bigger discounts. So moving on, my goal today is to keep this under 10 minutes, and I did not start a timer, which I should have started, but I didn't. So anyways, strap in, hold on tight. This plane is on the rise, and we're going to try to land it before the 10-minute mark. Days on market, another thing I always get asked. Well, how many days is, the average on market right now? So in Prescott Valley, it was 70 for July, which is actually up year over year. So you can see in 2024, it was at 60 and a half. So we're up 10 days right now compared to last year. And I believe this is because we have more homes to choose from. So when you have a similar amount of buyers in the market, but you have more homes to choose from, some houses aren't going to get chosen and they're going to sit on the market longer to get sold. So that's not an alarming rate, 70. We were at 79 February of last year. So, and then we were at 78, you know, in March of last year. So nothing alarming there on the days on market stats. Months of inventory. So this graph I changed up a little bit from our last time here. I added a green bar in the middle of it. It kind of looks like a teal bar on this because green plus blue makes teal. Anyways, your 4 to 6 months of inventory is a gauge known nationwide as being a balanced market, you know, where we're kind of in market equilibrium. That's still going to be a mixed market because in certain price points, you can always break it down by price points, by neighborhood, those kind of things, area, and it's going to show you different things. So I'm just looking at Prescott Valley as a whole. So based on that data, we're at 4.9 months of supply on the market as of July, which is up huge from 2024. So 2024, we're at 3.2, which was a seller's market. Now we're technically in a balanced market. I like to call it a mixed market. You tell me what subdivision you're interested in, and I can tell you what the months of supply is in there. There's some subdivisions, talking about you, Granville, it's going to be higher than this, and you can probably get a little bit better deal. It might be pushing towards the buyer's market in Granville right now. So get with me. Let me know what neighborhood you like, and I can pull the data for it specifically. June, we were at 4.4, so we were still in a balanced market back in June. So we're just getting into more of the central point, the 5-month mark, the sweet spot, as you might say, of a balanced market. Homes for sale. So now we're talking about the actual number of homes on the market. And this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the video when I said we were at a 5-year high. It's because we're at 397 as of the end of July. That's gone up since then, by the way. But yeah, as of the end of July, 397, which is huge. That's 122 more homes on the market to choose from if you're a buyer watching this than you had last year if you were going to buy. If you're a seller, unfortunately, that means there's 122 more options on the market compared to last year that buyers can choose from. So, and we are trending upward. So May, June, July, it's all trending upward. People ask, you know, how does this make sense, right? How do you get this month over month over month? So let's dive into that a little bit. Typically, it just means that more homes came on the market than went off the market. That's the best way to explain it. There's a couple of reasons a house would come off market. There's really only one way they would go on market. That means they weren't for sale and now it's for sale. So let's dive into the data a little bit more. If you have some more time, stick with me and we will get in the weeds. I love getting in the weeds on this stuff. So let's first look at homes sold. So this is the number of homes sold every month. June, unfortunately, we were at a 5-year low for June. July, we have crept back up and we're pretty much tied. I think we are tied actually at 86 units with 2023. So still not doing great on the home sales. There's a lot of reasons that factor into that, you know, most notably being interest rates, what they are today. So interest rates are not helping us with home sales, but anyways, that's where we're at. So if 86 homes came off the market in July because they were sold, oh, by the way, that was less than last year. So last year there were actually more homes that sold, even though there were less inventory, less homes to choose from than right now. So we'll take that number of homes sold, and then you've got the number of just listed. So this is super important. So this is telling us that as of last month, 131 new homes came on the market. So remember I was talking earlier about like there's really only one way to go on market, and that's you weren't for sale and now you're for sale. So 131 came onto the market and went for sale, while we had, 68? Let me go back. Yeah, 86. Sorry, flipped it in my head. 86 had come off the market. So that's a surplus. So we have a surplus of homes between 86 and 131. Before I move on to this, from this stat, just know there were more homes that hit the market compared to last year. Last year we had a dip in July, which was weird. That was a 4-year low in homes hitting the market where we bounced back this year. We're still down from June to July, but you can see that's a trend. So see how the trend line kind of goes in an arch here, a little bit of a rainbow. And that's because the winter months are the slow months and the summer months are the hot months here for home sales. So just taking those two numbers and subtracting solds from just listed, I like to look at this number. There's other ways a house can come off market if a seller says, I'm going to rent it out, I don't want to sell it anymore, and they pull it off the market. We'll call that either a withdrawn or canceled listing. Another thing too is if a seller has a listing agreement with their agent and that listing agreement comes to an end because it's expired, because the time ran out and the agent didn't sell it in the time that the seller gave them, that's called an expired. So you've got canceleds, expireds, and withdrawns. And I don't have those taken into consideration here. And I'll talk to you in a minute why. Well, I got a little bit of remnant data there. Just ignore that. 168. What we're really interested in is last month, just looking at just listed minus solds gave us 45. So if we were looking at it at a sum zero level playing field as of rolling into the month at 0 listings, that means that there would have been 45 that were left over that didn't get sold versus the ones that did get sold. So, but however, that's not reality. Reality is we already have a big pool of listings on the market and we had those many added. So, but I still like to look at this. This is a brand new chart I just added for this month. And it's because it's kind of giving us a leading indicator rather than a lagging indicator. If you don't know what that is, pause the video right now. Go hop on AI, ChatGPT, Google Gemini, and ask it what the difference is between a lagging and leading indicator are, and then come back to my video. Leading indicator on this data versus a lagging indicator would be the actual sold data. The actual sold data itself, because those homes went under contract or went pending. Buyers said yes to those homes anywhere between 15 to 45 days prior to it being marked sold. And then that barely changes the months of inventory. So that's a little bit of a lagging indicator. Even though I am using the sold data, I'm using the just listed data here, combining the two. So I guess it would be in the middle of a leading and a lagging indicator. So welcome to my TED Talk. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm just kidding. Let me go on with this. So I've come up with this, and I asked AI, what I should be doing for this, and it said, if it's plus or minus 0 within means or within a specific range for the market, then you can still call it at equilibrium, or you can call it, balanced or near balanced market, right? So, but that hasn't been the case. Look at our green trend line here. We've been over 20 month over month over month for a surplus, and that varies. You've got some that are 29, but then you had January that was at 79. So, but what I'm trying to get across here is that we look at this data to say, okay, we've been in a surplus. So that tells me that really on a mega scale or on a micro scale, month over month over month, we've been in a buyer's market because there's more sellers entering the market than there are buyers entering the market month over month over month. So if this continues to go on, we will see inventory continue to increase. As long as this stays above your 20 mark here, inventory is just going to keep continuing to build and build and build and build, unless we just have a whole bunch of sellers give up and pull their houses off the market, which I doubt we'll see that coming. Anyways, that's why I added this, and I wanted to look at it. Up here I did put 45 homes was the difference between the number of homes sold and the homes that were added to the market in July. Plus, so I'm saying that we are in a surplus right now. We're not at equilibrium, which is what this teal line is here. And if you go below it, that's when we're at a shortage. So you can see 2020 was kind of what put us in the predicament of a low inventory of what we have been in for the past, since 2021. July of 2020, we were short 34 homes, and then it bounced up a little bit, short again, but really short November, 49 homes, December, 29 homes, and then it bounced back up, the black line here, 2021 to 14, but those few months that we had of shortage really put a damper on our total supply of homes. That's it. That concludes my real estate market update. Thank you so much for joining me today. I probably went over the 10-minute mark. Sorry if I did. If you're still here, thank you so much for joining me today. Be sure to hit the like button down below here on YouTube. That helps me out a ton. Lets me know that y'all are getting value from these videos and that I should keep posting them. So if you think I should keep posting these videos, please hit the like button on them. Comment if you have any questions, or get my contact information below. Shoot me an email, text, phone call. Get a hold of me. I'll be happy to help you out. So without further ado, I think that was my spiel. So I will catch you all on the next one. Oh, also, before I let you go, I want to let you know that I do more market updates than just Prescott Valley. I also do Prescott, Arizona, Sedona, Arizona, and Cottonwood, Arizona. If you have any questions about any other specific markets, get with me. I can just pull the data for you, and we can have a one-on-one conversation about the market that you're looking in. Again, thank you so much, and I hope you have a rad day.